We're going to talk about the bridge and some different variations from that position. So the fundamental piece of a bridge is kind of that hinge movement, but we're going to do it from more of a kind of a prone or supine type position, something where we're more on the ground, and the movement is occurring at the hips. So this is going to be primarily targeting the glutes, which is why this is a fundamental piece and something that we use a ton of. So our foundational piece here might be a shoulders elevated on a bench. Very common that we'll load this with a band just to kind of resist that external rotation and abduction. Go ahead and let's just have you do a couple bridges here, coming up to that top position. So I'm just going to have him hold. So from here, what we're looking for is kind of a straight line from shoulders to knees. Hips are staying slightly tucked, so he's not overly arching. Knees are going to stay slightly spaced out. The knees are going to be roughly right over the ankle joint. So let's have you just do a couple dynamic reps. So he's getting a good top position. He should feel his glutes doing most of the work. Some common compensation here. We'll talk about setup. So you might have your feet a little too close to you, and then trying to come up in the bridge, it's really hard to get a little jammed up. You're going to feel a little bit more kind of quad. You can't really get your hips very well. Another thing is the feet may be a little far. So as he's coming up into that bridge, he may find it's a little bit more hamstring dominant and not as much glutes. And then most common compensation is spine, where people start to lose that spine. They tend to overly arch, where we see this elevate. So these shoulders, we want to stay down and hips staying tucked. And something else that we like to do to help encourage that is he'll tuck his chin just a little bit. When he tends to tuck his chin, he tends to not overextend his spine to help maintain that really good position. And you can see his shoulders too are going to just kind of right around the mid to base of the shoulder blades, not up too far, not back too far. And then lastly with the knees. When he comes up in that position, we want to see the knees kind of stay equal with the feet or even just slightly out from there so they're not getting collapsed in. He may come up here, come to that top position, and do a few abductions here where he's just going to do some small little reps, and you should feel a lot that more towards the lateral hips, but the majority of this is right underneath, something that's an easy cue for your brain and right on your glutes. So you can say, am I using these or am I not? Spine position hopefully should, again, not much happening there. Hamstring, these should be nice and relaxed and loose, which is great. And then now you can take the band off. If he's going into a single leg bridge, we'll have him go left leg down, right leg up. He's going to actively bring his right knee up just to try to minimize spine movement. Come on up. Same thing. What's the position? Where's his hip? Where's his head? All those same things apply. Get into one of our leg curl type variations. And once you own the bridge, then this is something that we can do. So he's going to come up into that bridge position, but this time now with his legs straight, still that nice beautiful line from there, and now he's just going to move from the knee joint. So now the glutes are stabilizing. They're not where the most of the movement's occurring, so now it's here. So now this is going to be a little bit more of a hamstring exercise with the glute stabilizing as opposed to spine. Just give me one bad rep where he overextends, and now he's getting a lot of contribution from spine as opposed to using the hips to stabilize. So those are the main things that we want to focus on is that spine position, being able to maintain that at all times so the movement's occurring either at the hip or the knee.